Hello, my name's Jo Gleave and I'm the lead artist practitioner at Women in Theatre, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the Women in Theatre podcast and to Run, Jump, Throw. Before you start, we want to tell you a little bit more about the experience. This audio piece has been designed to be listened to whilst walking or moving around a particular route of Perry Hall Park, but it can be enjoyed anywhere. So if you haven't been able to make it to Perry Hall Park, you could maybe go to your local park, sit in your garden, or from wherever you are, close your eyes and imagine. If you are in Perry Hall Park, hopefully you have your map downloaded from the Women in Theatre website. This will give you instructions of how to get to the start line. And once you're at the start line, you should have the meadow on your left and the secret garden to your right. Pause now if you need a bit of extra time to get to the start line. The track that you're about to follow is outlined on this map. Make sure to double check it when you reach a point where there's a junction on the path. Remember to take in your surroundings as you listen and be aware of other people in the park. The route's circular, so you'll finish on the meadow to your right where you've started. We'd recommend a slow and thoughtful walking pace, as though you were at an art gallery, taking in your surroundings. Listen to these footsteps to get an idea of the pace. Got it? Great. Enjoy and remember to take your time. It's not a race. You can begin when you hear the music.
Well, hello and welcome, and thank you for joining us. It's Noreen Goff here, your guide and commentator throughout what promises to be a wonderful programme of women's athletics here at Perry Hall Park. The conditions today, well, you can see for yourself what the conditions are today. Have a good look round. Locate where the sun is, if you can see it, and work out what kind of protection you need, if any. Umbrella, sunscreen, or a bit of both. Great. Yes, now moving along now, we see to our left a bit of a gym. And if anybody's like I am, an ornophobe, terrified of our feathered friends, don't worry, we'll be turning a sharp left at Bird Island. Thanks again for joining us today. It's been a tough old year for us all, and I just wanted to say on a personal note that I am over the moon to be back commentating a women's outdoor event again. Now let's take a minute before this eagerly awaited programme commences just to get our bearings. One of the wonderful things about Perry Hall is it is a 360-degree park, a wide open vista. To the right, and we're probably passing it just about now, was the site of Perry Hall, home of the Goff family. Though when Birmingham City Council had to choose between saving that or Aston Hall, only the moat remains. Protected by fields in trust, the park is safeguarded as public recreation land for future generations to enjoy. And across the A34 to our right is Alexander Stadium. And coming here, you more than likely have passed the recruitment site for many brilliant female athletes for the world-famous Birchfield Harriers over the years. Yeah, one-stop shopping centre. And we can't quite see it, but hidden by the trees, there is a coronet of cranes that is the site of the redevelopment connected to the 2022 Commonwealth Games. But today, We've come to enjoy and celebrate the courage of the inspiring endeavours and the smashing of personal best records of local women and girls.
Running saved my life.
I hate these sort of competitions. I hate these races.
You can do this.
Running's my reason for getting up in the morning. It gives me so much energy.
I was always picked last. I hate sports.
I always came second, never first.
I have to say, I love sports though. I wasn't very competitive because I never expected to win.
Doing athletics makes me feel good about myself.
We've got a packed programme of events, including the 7 events of the women's heptathlon, which are
100-metre hurdles,
High jump,
Shot put.
200 metres run.
Long jump,
Javelin throw. 800 metres run.
and if that's not enough, we've also got 2 bonus events. We'll be opening the programme with our Perry Hall Park Women's Long Distance event and closing with the Dorothy Nelson Memorial Women's Motivational Relay. I'm sure you'll agree it all sounds wonderful. I'll be your event programme guide throughout, but we are thrilled to announce that I will be joined along the way by a tip-top team of top-of-their-game guest commentators. We've got Birchfield Harriers' original leading light, Dorothy Nelson, OBE herself.
Stand straight. I'm only interested in one thing, the advancement of women as athletes and coaches. Come on, girl, get off that bench and let's see you run, jump and throw.
Sarisha will be talking us through the steps for the shot put.
धावपळ, उडी मार, fake आणि नाच. Run, jump, throw and dance.
And featuring top tips for improving your form from top coach Alberta Henry.
Come on, keep going, right through the line.
Anya from Year 6.
Come on, cheer for your house.
And from ancient Greece, huntress and exceptional athlete, Atalanta.
I will kill any man that I outrun.
More from Atalanta later.
run, jump and throw!
Now, the first event is getting ready to start. As you walk along now, you should have a pretty good view of the playing fields, and you should be able to see the river running parallel to us over the fields. Yeah? Good. And joining us to talk us through the opening event is my very old friend, it's Sonia.
Thank you, Noreen. Great to be out and about in the fresh air again.
Well, it's great to be out anywhere again.
The Perry Hall Park's Women's Long Distance event is open to all women and includes elite athletes from the women's buggy and pram 0 to 5 early years. Look around you and you will probably catch sight of a couple of athletes warming up in the distance, pushing buggies. It's a mixed field of women of all ages, backgrounds and experiences, but they have in common the ability to self-motivate, work under pressure, adapt to new situations, communicate and be driven by a desire to make things as good as they can be. The key skills and aptitude necessary for going the distance. Many of the athletes for this event were brought into the park at an early age themselves and came up through the ranks. And they're off! Some walking, some in pairs. All ages, as you can see, are welcome. Everyone has this image. There is a certain age, size, shape, but it's open to everyone. And of course, it's baby and dog friendly. Lots of smiling and laughing, waving and chatting.
I've been using Perry Hall Park for years. I grew up in the area. My sister used to bring us all here, pushing me because I was the youngest in my buggy.
As soon as my children were old enough, I used to take them every day and they'd play football. Or I'd take them to play dig and tag, have a picnic in the Chinese garden. As they got a bit older,
and started to go out on their own, I wanted to watch them, so I'd take my bike. I was brought here, and I brought the next generation here. Aki 1, 2, 3.
The park was my childhood playground. It is now my running track. I never thought that would happen. I used to hate running. It's a miracle I wasn't scarred from school. I went to Perry Beach's school and we came here to do cross-country. It was really muddy and I remember it being bitterly cold and I was really slow and my chest used to burn. They used to time us on the track. I dreaded it every week, being timed on the track. The first time I did the park run here, I had no idea how long 5k was. It was a rude awakening. But I loved it and I got a real runner's buzz, euphoria. Don't worry about what other people are thinking about you. Just be yourself.
I had cancer in 2012. After I recovered, I wanted to make sure I was in the best possible health. I can't imagine a day when I don't get out. It helps my mind as well as my body.
It's great for helping to put into perspective the daily stresses of everyday life. Family, work, especially during lockdown when you need a change of scenery, it's perfect for that. A little walk around that park and you feel completely different. I'm 100% fitter and I'm completely obsessed with it. Whatever worries or concerns you bring with you, you leave at the park gate.
You leave at the park
gate.
You leave at the park gate.
And there's Julie, welcoming each person as they pass the finishing line. Heartening to see these athletes encouraging each other as they pass and cross each other. The thumbs up, the nods of the heads, the smiles.
Thank you, Sonia.
My pleasure, Nori. And I'll see you later at the end of the day.
You will. What a great start to today's Women's Track and Field programme, which of course ends with everybody's favourite, the Dorothy Nelson Motivational Relay Race. But now we've got the first of today's women's heptathlon events. And it's the women's heptathlon event number 1, the 100-metre hurdles, and we're absolutely thrilled to say that we have with us hurdles' very own Amelia Duncan. Hello, Amelia.
Hello and good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon to you, beautiful manners. Now, Amelia, you actually do the 100 metres hurdles, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And how long do it take you to run the 100-metre hurdles?
It takes around 12 seconds.
12 seconds?
Yeah.
How many hurdles?
10.
10 hurdles?
10 hurdles.
12 seconds?
Yeah.
How many steps in between?
3 strides, we call it.
3 strides. Okay. Well, I think you'll agree that's pretty impressive.
Knock them down, smash them as we go. Knock them down, smash them as we go.
Low self-esteem.
Not being taken seriously.
Stereotypes.
Not being able to drive a car.
Body image.
Education.
Getting equal pay.
Ageism.
Racism.
Sexism.
Knock them down, smash them as we go.
On your marks, get set, gunshot. 1, 2, 3, Dorothy, 1, 2, 3. Elegance, arrogance, flamingo. Speed, power, sweat. Run, jump, fly. Winged chariot, hand on the sun. Women hold half of the sky. Filling gazelle, vixen and tigress. Run, jump, fly. Winged chariot, hand on the sun. Women hold half of the sky. Filling gazelle, vixen and tigress. Run, jump, fly.
What are you thinking about, Amelia, when you're jumping? What's on your mind?
When I'm jumping off the hurdles, I don't really think of anything. I go into autopilot and my mind just goes blank.
Oh, so you're not actually thinking about the end of the race, you're just taking it as it comes?
Yeah.
Well, I think we could all learn from that. that's the end of the women's hurdles for today. It's event number 2, the high jump, which I always find a little bit nerve-wracking. And here's Sonia to talk us through it.
Thank you, Noreen. 1.87 metres is the personal best that local heptathlon legend and Birchfield Harriers star Denise Lewis jumped at Seville on the 21st of August 1999. That's like jumping over my 6'1" nephew and not ruffling his hair. Have a look for something you can see that is about 6 foot and imagine jumping over it.
Tiny steps can lead to a massive leap.
Tiny steps make it more achievable.
Gravity defines how the jump will go. It's a few steps and you're off.
When you go backwards, you don't know where you're going to land.
It's nerve-wracking.
Learning new things.
It's nerve-wracking.
Speaking in public.
It's nerve-wracking.
Taking exams.
It's nerve-wracking.
Starting at the right time. Speaking at the right time.
It's nerve-wracking.
Fear of the unknown.
It's nerve-wracking.
Driving on the motorway.
It's nerve-wracking.
Wind chariot hand on the side.
What a day. And still so much to look forward to, with 4 more heptathlon events, the relay, and that exclusive interview with Dorothy Nelson herself. But now, yes, it's number 3 in the heptathlon, the shot put. And here with me now to discuss the discus is Sarisha.
I thought it was the shot put, Noreen.
It is, yes. I was just making a joke.
Oh.
Now, Sarisha, the world shot put record for women still stands from 1987, when Natalia Lisitskaya put her shot.
Okay.
That was 74 feet, 234 inches, or 22.63 metres.
Oh.
And that's about 4.5 double-decker buses lying down in a line.
That's good.
Or from where the path we are walking along now, right to the other side of the River Tame. Isn't that right, Sarisha?
I suppose so, Noreen.
Oh, look, shall I just let you talk through this event your way?
I think that may be best. On hearing your name called, you only have 30 seconds to enter the throwing circle and complete the throw, which is released from the height of your shoulder using only one hand. Okay, now your turn. See if you can put your shot. 3, 2, 1. Call your name. 30 seconds. How did you get on? Was it a cheer? Hooray! Or was it the shot put is thought to have been practiced by men throwing cannonballs in the Middle Ages. And certainly some women were known to have had good technique back in the 1950s, throwing their partners dinners at them when they came home late from work. I remember my aunt spin-throwing prawn cocktail all the way around a circular cul-de-sac at my uncle, with the cry, "And that's just for starters."
Well, thank you, Sarisha. It's particularly appreciated, as I know you don't actually like sport very much.
No, that's right, I prefer dancing.
It is my pleasure now to hand over to talk us through the 200 metres, coach extraordinaire, my old pal, Alberta Henry.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine, Noreen. The 200 metres is all about technique, because without it, you can be prone to injuries, and strength, because you need power to get out of those blocks. You have to say through the line, because sometimes athletes ease up just before the line, and that could be the difference between qualifying for a major championship or not. When you go through the line, it's your torso that they clock.
On your marks, get set, gunshot.
Come on, run through the line. You can do this. Use your arms. You can do this. Through the line. Through the line.
Run, jump, fly. Winged chariot, hand on the sun. Women hold half of the sky. Filly, gazelle, vixen and tigress. Run, jump, fly. Winged chariot, hand on the sun.
What a finish! Everyone coming in just under 30 seconds. Perry Hall Park women are smashing their own records today. In fact, let's hear from a couple of them now.
I feel great. It's taken me back to year 6 when I took part in a school's competition on a Saturday morning at Alexander Stadium, running on the actual track.
Talk us through that.
It was a cold, sunny Saturday morning. You've got that breeze of fresh air. You've got the standstill moments. You've got those little bunches of people with little kiddie voices. They're shouting and screaming. Then you've got people you've never spoken to before, but they're all rooting for you because you're representing the school. So there's these little squeaky voices calling out your name, and there are these little claps, and you've got the teacher going, "Come on, not long to go." You've got the voice that's within you looking at people beside you. You're going, oh my God, we are about to run. The noise gets quieter and quieter, and as you go around the track, then it gets louder, and you're like, oh my gosh, I did that big loop. I'm going round a second time. There's that element of people cheering for you, and it feels further and further away, and that's when you need to push forward. There's people cheering for you, but you're just not there. Then you finally finish, and you celebrate with the group, and that sound that was getting you through doesn't matter anymore.
And what about you, Cara? You look really happy after that race.
I loved it. I like keeping busy. I like keeping energised. At school, I wasn't very competitive. I never expected to win. I found it all entertaining, finding out what I couldn't do because of my cerebral palsy. I never took it too seriously. It helped me having that kind of motivation. Although it was difficult for me, I did try my best and gave it 100%.
Thank you, Cara.
Anytime.
While we wait for the next event to get set up, let's hear a bit more about you, Alberta. You're one of our top female coaches. Give us some top coaching tips.
Well, a lot of us get wrapped up in our own heads, doubt ourselves. Coaches can see something in us that we can't see in ourselves. The biggest joy is when an athlete achieves something they think they couldn't achieve.
How important is PB?
Personal best is everything. A personal best shows us that we are on track, we are improving, and all of us can improve.
Yeah, we've got to work for it though, haven't we? And nothing comes from nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Alberta, you were a talented heptathlete yourself. Do you ever regret giving it up?
You know, Noreen, I don't. There's a time when you really have to think, is this for me? And then focus on it. It's all about coaching for me.
Right, well, we'll see you in a bit then, Alberta. We'll get back to you for the relay. But tell us, Alberta, what is your top tip?
Be respectful to everyone and definitely enjoy. Enjoy what you do. Always have fun. I think that brings the best out of everyone.
Thank you very much, Alberta.
Fun? What's that?
Noreen, are you okay? You sounding a bit down. What's been happening?
Nothing, Alberta, and that's the problem. I don't know, you're getting older, coming out of COVID. I am asking myself a lot of questions. Am I still any use? Do all my years of experience count for anything? The world's gone even more technological. Zoom, you're on mute. TikTok. I feel it's all moving on without me. There's all this new blood coming up quicker out of the traps. They're better connected. They've got the lingo.
You need to focus on yourself, Noreen. You just go out there and execute your race the way you know how, to the best of your ability. And you can't run anyone else's race. You can only run your own. So stop comparing yourself to others. You can overthink things, Noreen.
My mic wasn't on, was it, Alberta?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Well, thanks, Alberta.
Hey, that's what friends are for.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we've been friends for a very long time. Marathon friends. Even though I did beat you in the egg and spoon race all those years ago at school.
But I beat you the year after at the 3-legged sack race.
Will you look at this? Look to the horizon. Looks like giants have been throwing spears from the sky. Now this is a much better view of the redevelopment. We can clearly see the coronet of cranes, like giant steel marionettes rising sky high, the girders that were pre-pandemic, to become the accommodation for some of the 5,000 elite athletes who Birmingham will be welcoming from the 72 Commonwealth nations in 2022, and now a part of this side of the city's regeneration, creating 5,000 new homes. All those steel spikes are a perfect backdrop for our penultimate heptathlon event, the javelin. And here to talk us through it is Sonia.
The javelin itself is about 7 foot long and weighs just over half a bag of sugar and is the width of a strong finger. The world record is held by Barbara Spotakova with 72.28 metres in 2008. About 15 buses, and that's a long way. Denise Lewis' personal best was 11 and a bit buses in Manchester back in 2004. But let's see what happens here today at Perry Hall Park at event number 6.
What's that? Sorry, Sonia, event number 6?
Yeah.
I don't think we've had an event number 5. I think we've dropped the long jump.
The javelin is always number 6.
Yes, I know. I think I've dropped a stitch. Never mind. I'll cover. We'll pick it up later on. Yeah, just introduce it again. Introduce the javelin one more time, please.
Is that what you want me to do?
I do, yes, please. Yeah,
and it's event number 6, the javelin. The javelin technique sequence comprises of 4 phases. An approach, a 5-step rhythm,
bang, 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 bang,
throw, and recovery. And of course, it must land point first.
Twang! OK, so we're back on. It's heptathlon event number 5, the long jump. What's tricky about the long jump is that you can so easily be disqualified if your foot goes over the line on takeoff.
Age disqualifies me because as a young teen, people don't really value your opinion because you haven't experienced that much yet.
I think a lot of people think that you haven't experienced a lot, but some people are half the age of you and have experienced double the amount of stuff.
Sometimes you don't look your age, so people think you're a different age and you come with less experience or more experience, or you're just not there.
Well, I think as a female, you get treated differently from your male colleagues. One is pay. Men get paid more than women for the same job.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
totally
not fair at all. And sometimes, as a woman, employers dismiss you. They don't think you can do the job because you're a woman.
Yeah, out of order, that is.
Yeah.
And also women that return to work after having children are considered sort of less capable and less able, like they might have baby brain. And if they haven't had kids, it's maybe when are they going to have them, because then we need to, fill a gap.
Yes,
that's not cool either.
True.
If you've had a big illness in your life, employers look at you and think that, is she going to be able to work here without becoming ill again? I think people don't make allowances for mental health, and if you have got mental health issues, you can be disqualified from lots of things in life. There's definitely a barrier there.
Yeah, because I think with mental health, people think it's an excuse to if you're sad, it's just, they just want to make an excuse, but I think it's deeper than that.
I think being emotional in the workplace is generally considered negative, and it's something that women are judged for and by, not just in work but life in general. But like a slur or a criticism is you're too emotional, or she's so emotional,
or she's on her period,
or she's on her period. Yeah, she's got PMT. Get that on a lot.
So many girls are struggling just to get to school, just to get to primary school or even secondary, complete the secondary school, even if they're able. Getting food, water, uniforms, even that's a struggle for a lot of the people worldwide. And now there's a campaign about sanitary towels, or lack of sanitary towels for girls, which means they can miss 3-4 days from school every month. So much hardship for a lot of girls.
Some of the best schools are in the posher areas, and if you're not from there, you can't get in. Literally, it doesn't matter about your capability or how clever you are. If you're not in that area, you can't get in.
Especially if you're 20, maybe 19, 20, because people are you haven't experienced life enough, you haven't done what you need to do in life, and you're already having a child.
There's this judgment, isn't there?
Yeah.
That if you're that young and you're having a child, something's gone wrong in your life.
Yeah. And it's it all goes downhill from here.
Yeah, but then on the flip side, sometimes you meet people and they say that they've got a 16-year-old, but they might still be in their early 30s. And then all of a sudden, the other side of the coin is, wow, how have you got this far in your career? Or, they're seen as extra competent or have those superhero powers.
So my daughter's bought her own house and she's very independent. Whenever anyone comes to the house, like a workman or something, they always expect the man to be there, and they kind of talk down to her, which she finds very frustrating. And one time she accidentally started a fire when she was using the grill. And she called the fire brigade, and they were so shocked that she was by herself. She said they were looking around where's the man to help you out? And she said, I live on my own. But then they did, they were really nice to her, but then she just felt like they were kind of talking down to her, and she said, Mum, I'm fed up of this. They always treat me different, just because I'm on my own, it's my house. So
Yeah, totally.
Definitely.
That's bad. I've had that experience. A guy came to the door selling windows, And he wouldn't speak to me because the man of the house wasn't home.
No.
Oh dear, shocking.
I was angry.
Stretch like a leopard, stretch like a cat. Life is not a race. Journey, discovery, disqualify, discovery, distress, discovery, till we jump over the other side of the river.
And now it's time to head to ancient Greece, where we have the hotly tipped favourite fleet-footed Atalanta for our final heptathlon event, the 800 metres.
Hiya, it's Aphrodite here, goddess of love, reporting from Mount Olympus, where it all began.
Hiya, Aphrodite.
Hiya, Noreen.
Aphrodite, tell us a bit about Atalanta never having been beaten till now.
Well, in a nutshell, Noreen, she races against men who wish to marry her. She always beats them, and then, let's just say, that's the end of their career. Put it this way, not just that they don't compete in any event again. After their defeat, they are taken out of the game. Full stop.
Never been beaten until today. Now, the word in the forum is that you've been training this young sprinter, Hippomenes.
Yes, we've done a lot of research, and we think we've located Atalanta's Achilles heel. She cannot resist a really good Cox's Pippin apple.
Oh. And it's a strong start for fleet-footed Atalanta. She's outpacing Hippomenes.
Taking the bend first, way out front. What's this? She's slowing down to pick up what looks like a ball. Hippo is gaining on her. I can't believe it. She's bending down again for another ball which she's proceeding to eat. It's not a ball, it's an apple. And as she slows again to pick up a third, Hippo powers on past her to the finish line to take the race. Hippo, how do you feel?
Well, I put the apples in the way because I know I could never have beaten her fair and square.
So what are you going to do now?
I'm going to ask her to marry me.
I've always loved sports. I used to be a cross-country runner. Any terrain was my main thing. I've run right up to the Lickies. I was like a gazelle over the hurdles, and my sports teachers was very keen on me carrying on and even spoke about Olympics. We're talking about 1970s, hurdles, high jump, 800 and 1500. You name it, I'd done it. My whole family used to say to me about my washboard belly stomach, "You're built like a man." But I ended up in the relationship where the gentleman got true jealousy. He tore off the women's bits on my awards and trophies. I was very fit. I used to be so fit. I ended up getting pregnant and my stomach wall was so muscular the stomach wasn't happy to stretch to accommodate the baby. My stomach muscles were not willing to give up the ghost. I was a size 10, but those days we weren't really fussing about what size we were. You just were. My body went back within 2 weeks. They couldn't believe I'd just had a baby.
I love the outdoors. I grew up in Pakistan. We went running, jumping and climbing trees. We would play find the scarf. It's like hide and seek. Everything my brother could do, I could do. Then I got married and it all stopped. I had to grow up fast, become a wife, mother and daughter-in-law. But now I'm beginning to get out again. It helps my breathing and lowers my blood pressure. And my daughter comes with me. At home, if my mum told us to go to the market, we would race each other to get the bread and okra, and if she'd forgot something, we would run back. My sister would cry, "Wait for me!" I am still very fast when I run in the park.
And I'm pleased to say Sonia's back with us. Hello, Sonia.
Hello, Noreen.
How's the long-distance event progressing?
That's another one crossing the line, Noreen.
I must say you're looking well, Sonia.
Thanks, Noreen. I've been doing Tai Chi over lockdown. Found it to be very good.
Oh, it's supposed to be good for anxiety, isn't it?
Yes. It's good for building up our inner strength. I couldn't be without it now.
Where have you been doing it, Sonia?
In the house, or, even better, out here in the park with the trees.
Well, it has been a non-stop day so far. So, come on, let's take a breather. And this is the perfect place. You should be nearing the area known locally as a secret garden with its little magical bridge. Come on, let's walk through.
Forest bathing, Shinrin Yoku, is simply spending time outdoors under the canopy of trees.
In Japanese, Shinrin means forest and Yoku means bath, or immersing oneself in the forest and soaking in the atmosphere through the senses.
Slow down. Move through the forest slowly so you can see and feel more. Take long breaths deep into the abdomen.
Extending the exhalation of air to twice the length of inhalation sends a message to the body that it can relax.
Stop. Stand or sit. Smell what's around you. What can you smell?
Take in the colours.
You can forest bathe for free whenever you want to.
Running in open spaces is humbling. You are a small thing. You can almost feel the curvature of the earth. It is good for us to realise that we are not that important, that our big problems are not that big. You run into yourself. For us women, we feel like we exist in our brains. When we run, we feel like we can inhabit our whole body. We're not just heads. One of the things I love about Perry Hall Park is it is 360 degrees. You see the whole sky.
If you haven't already done so, please make your way out of the secret garden and stand on the path, looking out over the wildflower relay meadow. So sadly, we are coming to the end now of this superb event with the cherry on the trifle. Sonia, tell us, why do we all love a relay so much?
Well, Noreen, everybody loves a relay because you're part of a team and don't want to let anybody down.
And here's the woman who's behind this fabulous final event, Dorothy Nelson.
I know some people saw me as that posh battle axe. I just didn't see the point of beating around the bush. All I ever wanted was to provide great coaching for women athletes. The girls around here are ambitious. They like the idea of winning medals and becoming stars.
Now, Dorothy, you encourage generations of Birchfield athletes and parents to train and coach and to become track and field officials. And you also made sure a fully sprung dance floor was fitted at the club.
Of course. What's life without a bit of fun? You have to set yourself down and assess things to move forward onto things that are bigger and better. Get your tracksuit bottoms off and get running, jumping and throwing.
For the 4x1, it's all about speed, all the way round. Isn't that right, Sonia?
Yes, and the 4x4, it's speed and speed endurance. You've got to exchange the baton by the finishing line.
On your marks, get set, gunshot. 1, 2, 3, dirty, dirty, elegance, arrogance, flamingo. Speed, power, sweat. Run, jump, fly.
Take up every opportunity that excites you.
Pass it on. Shoot your shot and just do it.
Pass it on.
Don't let people's negative opinions affect you.
Pass it on.
Carpe diem, seize the moment.
Pass it on. Believe in yourself. Pass it on.
Your best is always personal, never general.
Pass it on.
Have fun, enjoy yourself, and don't worry what anybody thinks.
Pass it on. Get more sleep, drink more water. Pass it on.
Winged chariot, hand on the sun. Women hold half of the sky. Filly, gazelle, vixen, and tigress run, jump, fly. Winged chariot, hand on the sun. Women hold half of the sky. Filly, gazelle, vixen, and tigress run, jump, fly.
What a relay! Wow! What a fabulous track and field day it's been here at Perrypole Park. And never, never, in my 40 years as a commentator, have I seen quite so many women hitting their PBs, their personal bests. And we invite you all now, as we reflect on all our personal bests, to step off the track, go into the meadow, go off grid.
My personal best? Resilience.
I think my personal best would have to be my children. I think when I look at them, I'm so proud what they've become, who they are. But I still feel that maybe I could have done a little bit more. There's much more room for improvement as being a mom. I'm sure most mothers would be able to identify with this. But yeah, my children are my personal best.
It took me 5 goes to pass my driving test. So when I did manage to pass the test, I thought it was a big achievement.
Everybody's journey is unique.
You're always enough.
You can do hard things.
You can't get disqualified if you make the rules.
Tiny steps of improvement lead to big things.
Push those doors and see what's behind them. It might be that you have to be the pioneer. You may have to be the first person to push open that door, and you can do it, but just find those welcoming, hospitable places.
I love driving now because I feel very safe in the car. That means I could basically, once I passed my driving test, I could go driving in the evenings for meetings or to meet friends. And I wasn't dependent on anybody else. Because I think it gave me a sense of self-worth and confidence and independence.
Just enjoy life and don't worry about what other people think of you. I've always enjoyed life. It's the worrying about what other people think of you bit.
And that's it from all of us today here at Perry Hall Park. We'd like to thank you for coming. And remember, run, jump, fly!
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this audio experience. If you know someone who would benefit and enjoy listening, why not share it with them? Also, rating and reviewing the podcast will help us to find more listeners. Run, Jump, Throw was researched with and performed by women living in and around Perry Bar. It was written by Janice Connolly in collaboration with the Women in Theatre team and the community cast. The sound design and music was by Sam Frankie Fox and mixed and mastered by Fox and Rocher. The map was designed by Abigail King in consultation with the community cast, and the audio experience was recorded at Grosvenor Road Studios. Run, Jump, Throw was funded by Arts Council England, Birmingham City Council, the Ruffley Trust, William A. Cadbury Trust, the Grimmett Trust, and the Cole Charitable Trust. This is a free podcast from Women in Theatre. We're a charity, and if you'd like to support the work that we do, then you can make a donation by visiting our website, www.womenandtheatre.co.uk/support-us.